Hello and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordish, joined by Superintendent Hime. After a few weeks of weather and events.
Yes, weather and events. It just seemed like Mondays became a busy day all of a sudden for us. So glad to be back and a lot to cover today.
We do. And so I hope you're ready because we're just going to get into probably something that's on everybody's mind.
Unfortunately, we had an unfortunate incident at a high school basketball game. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the staff, all the people who work at LPS, and all those who handled the situation, watching it on video, and obviously I've watched the video from every video I could find a few times. They did a great job of handling the situation. I think the big things we need to reiterate to our parents and fans is, guys, you can't come on the court. Again, I was a parent, and I know that urge is there when your kid gets into something to get it. When adults start on the court, other adults think they need to go on the court, and then you can have something that we don't have enough people to control. And, you know, there's some pretty serious rules for student athletes that when they're not in the game, if they leave the bench and get in the game, they suffer some pretty serious consequences. So those things will all be handled by the Secondary School Activities Association, along with cooperation from our administrative staff, and some of the penalties will be handed down on that. But again, we want to remind everybody, first of all, we have a great Lawton Public School Police Department that handles incidences. Again, once again, they handled that stellar. The administration at the games did a great job. I saw numerous people that work for us out there taking care of it and getting it separated. And a big shout out even the other team, the opposing team. Their people got their kids settled quick, and we got separated. Obviously, there's always one or two that they're a little bit more emotional than others. Again, you're dealing with teenagers, and things happen that we're not happy about, and they give us, you know, they make the whole district look bad because it created a situation where for the boys to play, we had to ask the fans to leave. And so now the boys' parents who didn't do anything are now not getting to watch their kid. So it just makes one of those things that they used to say, be danged if you do, be danged if you don't. But again, you know, from everything I've seen and all the reports I've seen, a big shout out to our admin, our police force, and any other of our staff who was part of handling that situation and getting it under control quickly. And I just want to reiterate, stay in the stands. If you're a student athlete, stay in the bench, because that's what causes the problems. Therefore, the people who violate that end up with more serious discipline than sometimes the people who were on the floor involved in the incident. So, again, I want to shout out to our people.
Yes, sir. Now, another thing we want to talk about, because it's come up and we have been gone for a little bit and we haven't addressed it, but there was a rumor about SCORE. Can you clarify?
SCORE, you know, one thing we talk about a lot is creating opportunities and doing roadblocks. SCORE is an opportunity sometimes for students. But what people don't understand what SCORE is an opportunity. It's a career tech program. It is not a Lawton Public Schools program. But we have to transcript it because they can't even transcript the grades. So our principals, when kids are at SCORE, they're the ones that sign off that those students completed the standards as needed and such. And SCORE does a great job with some of our kids. But if you're the principal or the superintendent, as I am, they're Lawton Public School students. It's our job to educate those kids, and we need to make sure they're aware of all of our opportunities before they go to SCORE. We have over, somebody said, well, you're entering SCORE. We have over 100 students in SCORE right now, and as far as I know, we're going to have over 50 in there next year, maybe 70, 80. That number changes on a daily basis, so I'm not sure. Sometimes rumors get started because those numbers change, but I don't know that it's meant it's meant for students who need that other opportunity. And again, we're not going to do away with it from our standpoint. Now, it's a career tech program. How it operates, we have no control over. But so make sure we know that that opportunity is still on the table and it's still an option. Although, it's one of those options we want to make sure they explore what we do first.
But it's not going away.
As far as Lawton Public Schools concerns.
Yes.
Now, again, we don't control SCORE. That is a career tech, that is a Great Plains career technology program. So They will have to decide. And again, we have never told them we're not going to transcript those grades because, again, they cannot transcript grades. We are the accredited organization to have to transcript the grades, put them on the student's high school transcript. And we've never said we're not. So I'm not sure where that rumor got started, but hopefully we just all got to communicate better sometimes. And if they took something from us, they should. not
We're
going to.
still educational partners at the end
Yes,
of the day for
we're
our
big
kids.
partners with them, and I sure don't want to make this us versus them, because that's not what it's about. Because they create, when I talk about create an opportunity, a lot of the opportunities created for Lawton Public Schools students are through Great Plains Career and Technology Center. They do a great job with our students, and we want to continue to be full partners with them in doing that.
Absolutely. And now when we're talking about things to come up, we have a lot of events.
Oh, let's go back to this.
Okay.
We just talked about opportunities.
Yes.
We're in enrollment.
Yes, that's what
and I know
mean.
they've kind of changed some terminology on that.
Pre-enrollment, because we're not physically
enrolling,
right.
But if you're a parent or if you're a student, those packets are out. Those course catalogs are out. You need to start looking at what you're going to do. One of the things we're really working toward is creating pathways. So if you want to be a welder, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, we start talking about what classes you need from our standpoint to be successful or help you be successful, and talk with your parents and make those decisions on what you need. We're going to start working toward internships and helping you prepare. So when you leave, we always talk about when the student walks across the stage, we want to be enrolled, enlisted, or employed. Our goal, even if they're enrolled, we want them to be as prepared as they can to be enrolled in college or career tech or other secondary, if they're employed. We want gainful employment. We want trainings so they have license and certificates so that they're making more money when they're employed. And obviously, if they're enlisted, the more skills we can give them as enlisted, the higher level they can be and more pay they make when they join the military. So there's more to just enrolled, enlisted, and employed, but that's where we're at. So make sure that communication's going on in your house with your counselors, with your teachers, and anyone else about what you think your career may be. And I tell everybody this all the time. I had 3 kids. They've all graduated college, and all 3 of them changed their major more than once. So it's not that we're saying you pick this pathway and you're locked in. We understand that it'll change, but just so you can start getting more tuned into that and better and have more information so you can decide if that is your choice.
And for our families that are watching, if your student does not bring the course catalog home, it is on our website under families, and it's the LPS middle school and the high school.
And that website is lawtonps.org.
Yes, sir. Now, to go and tie with our 3 E's, like we like to call it, we have the virtual / in-person career fair happening for our juniors and our seniors.
Yes.
So the virtual will be juniors and seniors this month.
Yes.
And they'll be needing to sign up with their counselor. So that's.
And again, some of that is to help pick pathways and us to do, so we can create those opportunities or better prepare for those pathways you choose. And we talk about it all the time. We do TAP in middle school. And the purpose of the TAP program in middle school, we call it LTAP, is so if you can start looking at different careers. So when you pick your career tech course, again, your course at Great Plains, you have more information to help you make that decision.
And those classes are also in our course catalog for the Tech Center. And then we have the career fair that will be in person March 5th, and we're looking for more exhibitors. So if you're a community partner and you want to come out there and talk with our juniors, you can always reach out to us at the email, info@lawtonps.org.
Info?
Yes,
at lawtonps.org.
Now, we have lots to celebrate and talk about. This week is National Counseling Week. So for all
and
of
it's
our
also
counselors.
Black History Month.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Yes, we have lots to celebrate.
Lots to celebrate and a lot for our students. And you know what's amazing to me on those things is how much our students do to celebrate those and put together the videos and the different events we have for both of those. So.
Yes, sir.
And back to Counseling Month, I kind of added something to you.
Yeah, no, but it's Black History Month, and our students are a part of the activities. We had the proclamation last week, and then we have a lot of other organizational events happening, and then National Counseling Week. We do want to thank our counselors for all that they do.
Great counselors, and this is one of the busiest times because they're working with students. Some of them are working with seniors as they get ready to graduate, but then they're also working with their next year's freshmen or their next year's 10th graders, getting them enrolled and trying to help them in their ICAP and help work with them just to work with their career path. So as a parent, even if you don't, make sure you email, leave messages because they'll get back to you.
They will.
They want to work hard with our students. And if you hadn't heard from your counselor, sometimes they check your phone number. And that's another thing we need to talk about. Winter's not gone. Oklahoma, there's always the next winter. We're in spring right now, but we got the next winter coming. Then we get to real spring. But make sure if you're not getting our calls, make sure you get into that information center because we also have severe weather right around the corner because that's the next thing. In Oklahoma, there's always something right around the corner. And as you know, the severe weather is right around the corner. So make sure. I met with our leadership teams, and I started it out by telling them communication. You're never complete at being communicators. And you say we don't have to be bad to get better. And that's one thing. Everything we talk about in disagreements and things where people don't understand is usually due to a lack of communication or a misunderstanding because of your communication. So that's something we want to do with our parents, make sure they understand when we have these weather days, whether serious weather from storms or snow and ice or just cold outside, that we make those communication. We're able to communicate you through email, text messages, and that call blast. So.
And that's what we did when we had the water event. That was
Yes.
a citywide outage, and that was another thing that we had. And
it came on pretty quick.
it did. It was pretty fast.
But it made it easier for our, because I understand as a parent, then I'll say, well, you know, what do I do? What do I do? So we try to get that as quick as we can.
We did. Now, Mr. Hime, we have a lot of events coming up.
We had the lockdown the other day, and your team did a great job on that.
Well,
communicating to the parents that we had them secure in the building. It was an outside the building issue, but by reaching out to them every few minutes, I heard lots of parents really appreciate the fact that your team was constantly staying in contact, and there were a lot of different things out there on different media sites, but you kept them updated enough. So make sure your team understands, and that's another thing for our parents. When we have situations, that's another way we communicate, and it's our best way to communicate.
Well, we had a lot of collaboration that day, so thank you to everybody, because we did put out the notifications, but we also had response from everybody to help kind of mitigate that.
Man, we've had a lot happen.
You guys, it's been a long month and a year, right? And we're
And you know what's great about
February.
it? You know, when you're the superintendent, things happen that you're not happy with, whether it's weather, lockdown, security, incidents at ball games. But the thing that I sleep well at night, again, my ultimate job is to keep people safe. But man, our staff, every situation we've talked about, our people have stepped up and handled it with, you can't praise them enough for how great our officers have done, our administration, our staff members, all of them have handled these situations. And that's just a shout out to them, because, everybody who works for us, and you always say, they're just as concerned with your child's safety as they're there for kids, and they want to keep kids safe too. And they all step up to the plate and get the job done. And they've been amazing. In 2024, we've had some things happen, and our people have just been amazing.
And the fence work continues. The bids go out. I mean,
how much more secure is that going to be for us? I saw somebody say, well, they're going to make it a prison. No, you can get out anytime. All the exits are good. It's the entrances. We don't mind people leaving. And if our kids are going to places and stuff, we're going to have a way to get them back in. If they're going to here to the LRC or somewhere. But the bottom line is, when kids are in class, we don't need other people cutting through campuses and things. And we talk about this at our secondary schools now with TAP and ROTC and athletics, using the turf fields and different things. Our kids are going, we got middle school kids going to the high school a lot. And with our internships, we're going to have vice versa. And we have kids moving back and forth. We don't need a lot of people in that block who don't belong. So this is going to create where the only people in there are going to be the people that belong.
Correct. That's right.
And as a parent, I'm sure you love that idea.
I do. I mean, and I hate that we're at that point in where we are from where we went to school, but it's our society.
Still looks good at Lawton High. I've not had anyone say it looks bad. I mean, the Lawton High looks really good.
I like the color of the fences. So we're getting there. Now, with the events coming up, let's talk about, we have Student Virtual Learning Day on next week.
Yep,
so that's a little
16th.
Bit. Yes, and then no
school
on the
19th is President's Day, but that's also the day our teachers, no virtual. That's a 100% day off, and it's basically to replace the 2 nights our teachers work on parent-teacher conference night.
And those are happening, you guys, so check your calendar because the elementary, middle school, and high school different weeks.
Yeah, and we vary those, and people say, well, why aren't they all this on the same day? We vary them because we have some parents who may have a child in all 3. And if they have a child in all 3 and they're all at the same time and they have to wait in line, or one gets, delayed, or they only have a couple hours to do it, they just can't get to all 3. So now they get different nights to do it. So we feel like that helps in attendance.
And we have, before we go, because I know we have a lot to fill in. We can talk forever. But we do have PTA reflections tomorrow. And then we have the Future Chef sign-ups. If you're not sure what that is for our elementary students, be sure to go on our social media and check it out. And then we have some congratulations. Our speech and debate teams and our academic teams are really
doing great jobs. Make sure you get on there and look at what our students are doing, because sometimes we don't celebrate enough. And make sure you get on your site's web pages and look. and celebrate. We just have amazing kids.
Be sure to download the LPS app because we're sending out notifications there. That's where you can find your rooms invite. Mr. Hime, if we have other things going on, what's the email again?
It is info@lawtonps.org. Please send it to us. Hopefully next week we'll all be good and we can have our
students back.
Students back.
Yes, that was supposed to be
last week. Bring some of our
week.
student leaders in today and talk to them about, hey, you're wrapping up. And we always like this time of the year to talk to our seniors about what you would tell your middle school. If you could go back and tell yourself in middle, some of those things we'll ask to give them advice as they're doing pre-enrollment. Who better to listen to than somebody who's about to graduate? I talk about it all the time. I'm almost 60. Me telling them what to do and telling them what an opportunity is so far, it's not what they're looking for. And so it's fun to talk to them.
And you just had that council last week.
Yep, I met with like 60 of them last week, and we had some great conversations about student leadership and government and things they could see that I could do different, where we as an admin could do different. So we're excited about working with some of those things and making our school a better place for our students.
Is there anything else you want to share with our community today?
No, thank you guys for supporting Lawton Public Schools. Our foundation raises. We had a pie auction.
Yes,
they raised like
yesterday.
$11,500 selling pie. Selling
Dessert
desserts
auction
for our VOAG program or in FFA, and so that's exciting. Just the support we have. Thank you for everything you guys do to support the students at Lawton Public Schools.
Yes, sir. And if you guys have not already liked and subscribed to our YouTube and social media pages, please do that because we have a lot to share out and we don't want anybody to miss that. Until next week, right, Mr. Hime, when we bring back our kids, you guys be well, stay safe, make positive impacts, and we will see you soon.